My name's Hitain Patel. I'm an artist and I'm also the director of this film, Don't Look at the Finger. So this film starts with our protagonists, a man and a woman who are about to get married, an African couple, and it's set up as an arranged marriage, so they haven't met before. And once we arrive in the church, we realise that the couple, maybe even some of the family members, are deaf. There's the very physical signed vows which makes promises to each other, and then they come together to start another part of the ceremony which looks and feels a bit like the ritualistic part of their signing their vows, but then becomes more physical, and this gestural behaviour between them breaks out into a fight. This is them going full out. This is them physically speaking at their top volume in the way that they can express themselves. So it's almost like going towards a truth of who they are, of their bodies, that they can only do in relation to one another. Both signed languages and Kung Fu martial arts are really important in this work. And for me, that stems from my always looking for ways for the body to communicate more, both linguistically, but also something beyond language. Like a lot of my work, it starts autobiographically. So I'm interested in looking at how you might connect minority cultures or cultures that might have been marginalized with something that is big in pop culture and recognizable, such as Hollywood. When I used to watch films as a kid on TV, you know, Hollywood was always the place for escapism. Culturally, it was something that was a connection point between me and all the other kids at school. You know, when I grew up, I was the only brown guy in the class sort of thing, but we still had the same connection to these things at the movies. They were to do with identity, or they were to do with being a man, or they were to do with love, or whatever they were. So it felt like Hollywood was this kind of pop culture connection point that I could share with all the other kids at school. So the themes in the work are about identity, about freedom, about equality. I'm interested in how it feels to make an assumption about something or someone and then have that upturned. You know, I always enjoy when it happens to me. You know, even just looking at the Afro-Caribbean cast in the film, kind of assumptions we might make about blackness or Africanness or whatever it might be. I'm not planning to subtitle the film, so I'm aware that a deaf audience will have more access to that language than a hearing audience or an audience that doesn't understand those languages. Because, you know, the deaf audience also don't have access to, let's say, the music soundtrack or the sound foley. And so I'm interested in, that different people will have access to different parts of the film, but also the parts that you don't have access to, there's plenty of other signifiers for you to try to understand what's going on. I want an audience to, let's say if it's a hearing audience, to come towards the film, to try to figure something out. The predecessor to this film is called The Jump. It's an Indian family, it's actually my family, filmed at my grandmother's house, and it connects again to Hollywood through almost restaging the scene from a Spider-Man film. It's kind of long, slow motion Spider-Man jump with this intricate costume that I've made. And we're going to have these films installed in the same spaces together. And I like the idea of putting that seed into someone's mind of what would the bigger film look like that would have these two scenes in it. And I'm certainly excited by that, and ultimately that's what I want to do. I want to make a feature film that would contain these elements.